All right, let's jump right in. When you picture a disaster, a big one, who do you see rushing in to help first? I bet it's fire trucks, ambulances, those official search and rescue teams, right? Well, that's what we all think. But what if I told you the real first responders are much, much closer to home? Today, we're going to talk about the incredible power of community when a crisis hits. Okay, let's start with a number 90%. Just let that sink in for a second. What on earth could this number mean in a disaster? It's a huge chunk of something, so it's got to be important. Any ideas? Yep, you're looking at it. Studies have shown that a staggering 90% of people who make it through a disaster are pulled from the rubble not by professionals, but by the people living right next door, their neighbors. I mean, that one single fact completely changes how we should be thinking about emergency response, doesn't it? So here's the thing. While all those official services are absolutely vital, don't get me wrong, they often can't get to the scene right away. The real immediate first responders are the people who are already there. It's the community itself. They're the ones on the ground dealing with the crisis well before any outside help can even get in. And look, this isn't just some feel-good idea. It's backed up by major organizations. This quote from the Global Facility for Disaster Reduction and Recovery, the GFDRR, puts it perfectly. Communities aren't just helpless victims waiting to be saved. They are essential partners in every single step of dealing with a disaster. Once you realize how powerful communities are, it leads to this huge shift in thinking. Instead of all the plans being made by experts far away and then pushed down, a new, way more effective model is taking over, one that actually starts from the ground up. Let's just look at the difference here, side by side. The old way, the top-down approach, is probably what you're used to. Some government agency or external group makes a plan and then tells everyone what to do. But this bottom-up approach, it flips that whole idea on its head. It says, hey, the local people know their own neighborhoods best. It empowers the community to be an equal partner, and that leads to plans that actually work for them. And this new way of thinking has a name. It's called Community-Based Disaster Risk Reduction, or just DRR for short. And it's basically what it sounds like. It's a structured way for a community to not just be told what their risks are, but to get actively involved in figuring out their own weak spots and then building the plans to fix them. So, how does all this actually work? What makes it all tick? It's not just about having more emergency kits or better plans, though, those things are important. The real secret ingredient, the thing that makes this whole community engine run, is something you can't even see. It's trust. Now check out this definition. The key phrase here is accepting vulnerability. Because let's be real, in a crisis, you are about as vulnerable as you can get. Trust is that feeling, that belief that your neighbors and the official institutions are gonna have your back. It is literally the glue that holds a community's response together. You see, managing a disaster isn't just about what happens during the event. It's a whole cycle, and it has these 4 distinct phases. And as we're about to see, trust is the one critical element that makes every single one of these phases work the way it's supposed to. Let's just break it down real quick. In the prevention phase, if you don't trust the source of an evacuation warning, are you going to leave? Probably not. For preparedness, if you trust the people running it, you're way more likely to show up for a community training day. During the actual response, it's that trust between neighbors that lets people share food and open their homes to each other without a second thought. And finally, in the recovery phase, trust between people and the government is what makes rebuilding happen quickly and fairly. See? Without trust, the whole system just falls apart. Okay, so we get it. We understand the why and the what. But what does this actually look like in the real world? How do we take all this great theory and turn it into something real, something that actually happens on our streets? Well, at the community level, this means we stop just being passive. It's about working together, where a local fisherman's knowledge about the tides is seen as just as valuable as a scientist's computer model. It's about communities doing their own risk assessments, building their own shared plans, and even setting up their own local warning systems and first aid teams. This is what real empowerment looks like. And all that big stuff, it starts with you. It starts with small things. Seriously, get to know your neighbors. Just say hi. Figure out who on your street might need a little extra help. An elderly person, a family with a new baby. Build your own emergency kit. Learn some basic first aid. Heck, even simple stuff like helping keep the storm drains on your street clear makes a difference. These are the tiny little bricks that build that massive foundation of trust and preparedness. So let's put it all together. When we take all these pieces, when we finally recognize our neighbors as the first line of defense, when we shift to this bottom-up way of thinking, when we build that crucial foundation of trust, and we all take these small, actionable steps, we create something incredibly powerful. A new vision for what it means to be a safe community. And really, this is the main takeaway. This is the whole point. A truly resilient community isn't just one that's good at bouncing back after something terrible happens. It's one that is actively working together all the time to lower the risks before they ever happen. It's about shifting our mindset from being reactive to being proactive. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. This isn't about solving everything overnight. It's just about starting. So, what's one single conversation you can start in your community this week that could help build just a little bit of that trust and resilience right where you live?